In 2005, if you needed a pack of AA batteries, there was only one obvious place to go. You got in your car. You drove 15 minutes to Walmart. You parked in a sea of concrete. You walked past aisles stacked to the ceiling. You waited in line under fluorescent lights. You drove home. 45 minutes. Maybe an hour. That was normal. Now imagine the same purchase in 2025. You're sitting on your couch. You remember you need batteries. You open Amazon. You tap Buy Now. 15 seconds later, you're done. The batteries arrive tomorrow. No car, no parking lot, no line, just a quiet box on your doorstep. Here is the part most people forget. Back in 2005, Walmart was the most powerful retailer on earth. Thousands of stores. The most efficient supply chain in the world. Unmatched buying power. Relentless cost control. They had already conquered retail. Amazon was still being mocked as an online bookstore that barely made money. And yet, 2 decades later, Amazon reshaped how the world shops. So here is the real question. How did a company with no physical stores outmaneuver the largest retail empire in history on its own turf? The answer was not price. It was not scale. It was something far simpler and far more dangerous. Amazon understood convenience at a level Walmart underestimated. Now, to be fair, Walmart was not asleep. They were not arrogant. They were not incompetent. In fact, for decades, Walmart was the most operationally disciplined company in retail. They built a supply chain so efficient it became a case study in business schools. They squeezed costs out of logistics in ways competitors could not replicate. They negotiated prices at a scale no one else could match. They turned low prices into a national promise. By the early 2000s, Walmart was generating hundreds of billions in revenue. They had already expanded internationally. They had already digitized parts of their operations. And yes, they launched an e-commerce website as early as 2000. This was not a dinosaur ignoring the internet. They invested billions into digital initiatives. They experimented with online ordering. They studied the data. Meanwhile, Amazon looked fragile. For years, it reported thin margins or losses. Analysts questioned its model. Some called it a company that sold growth, but not profit. It started with books. Just books. If you were looking at the scoreboard in 2005, Walmart looked unstoppable. Amazon looked ambitious, but risky. So this is not a story about one company being smart and the other being slow. It is a story about what each company chose to optimize. Walmart optimized physical efficiency. Amazon optimized behavioral convenience. And that difference would quietly reshape the entire industry. The numbers tell the rest of the story. In 2005, Amazon generated roughly $15 billion in revenue. Walmart generated more than 20 times that. Fast forward less than 2 decades. Amazon's annual revenue crossed $500 billion. Its North America retail segment alone became larger than many national chains combined. E-commerce, once an experiment, became a default behavior. But the real turning point was not revenue. It was Prime. When Amazon launched Prime in 2005, it offered unlimited 2-day shipping for a flat annual fee. Many analysts called it reckless. Shipping was expensive. Margins were thin. Free delivery sounded like a race to the bottom. But Prime changed one simple metric: frequency. Prime members began shopping more often. Studies consistently showed that Prime subscribers spent significantly more per year than non-members. Not because prices were lower, but because the decision became easier. If shipping feels free, hesitation disappears. And when hesitation disappears, volume rises. At the same time, consumer surveys began to show a shift in priorities. Price still mattered. Brand still mattered. But speed and ease were climbing the list. As urban life accelerated and mobile usage increased, convenience moved from being a perk to being an expectation. Walmart built the most efficient store network in the world. Amazon built a system that made leaving your couch unnecessary. One optimized cost per unit. The other optimized seconds per decision. And over time, seconds turned into market share. To understand why this worked, you have to look at behavior, not balance sheets. Convenience is not a feature. It is the removal of friction. Every purchase decision contains tiny moments of resistance. You have to remember what you need. You have to decide where to buy it. You have to evaluate price. You have to complete the transaction. Each step creates hesitation. Walmart reduced financial friction. They lowered prices. They optimized inventory. They built massive stores so you could find everything in one place. But the process still required effort. You had to go there. Amazon attacked a different kind of friction. First, physical friction. No driving. No parking. No checkout lines. Then, cognitive friction. One-click ordering. Saved payment information. Personalized recommendations. Auto-filled addresses. The fewer decisions you make, the more likely you are to complete the purchase. Behavioral economists call this choice architecture. Reduce the number of steps, and you increase the probability of action. Second, Amazon reframed time. Walmart competed on saving money. Amazon competed on saving minutes. In a slower era, saving $5 felt meaningful. In a busier era, saving 30 minutes felt priceless. Time became the new currency. When Amazon promised 2-day shipping and later same-day delivery, it was not just speeding up logistics. It was shrinking the gap between desire and fulfillment. The shorter that gap becomes, the more powerful the habit. Third, Amazon built lock-in through ecosystem design. Prime was not just free shipping. It bundled video, music, exclusive deals, cloud storage. Once you paid the annual fee, your psychology shifted. You wanted to justify the subscription. You bought more to feel like you were getting value. Leaving meant losing multiple benefits at once. That is not just convenience. That is behavioral momentum. And finally, repetition. The more you buy from the same interface, the more familiar it feels. Familiarity reduces anxiety. Reduced anxiety speeds up decisions. Over time, Amazon did not just make shopping easier. It made alternative options feel slower. Walmart mastered operational efficiency. Amazon mastered human behavior. And in a world moving faster every year, the company that understood behavior had the edge. Now here is where most people oversimplify the story. It is tempting to say Walmart was slow. It is tempting to say Amazon was smarter. It is tempting to frame this as innovation versus tradition. But that misses the real shift. This was not a battle between good and bad strategy. It was a battle between two different definitions of convenience. Walmart optimized for physical retail efficiency, massive distribution centers, incredible supply chain discipline, relentless cost control. Every truck route optimized, every shelf measured for productivity. If you judge the game inside a physical store, Walmart is almost unbeatable. They can move inventory at a scale most companies cannot even imagine. They can squeeze suppliers. They can keep prices lower than almost anyone else. Inside that system, Walmart wins. But Amazon was not trying to win inside that system. Amazon optimized for behavioral convenience, not how fast a truck can move, but how fast a human can decide. Not how efficiently a pallet is stacked, but how effortlessly a button is pressed. Walmart asked, how do we make the store run better? Amazon asked, how do we remove the store entirely? In a world where people still planned shopping trips, Walmart's model was superior. In a world where people started valuing immediacy, Amazon's model felt inevitable. This is the key shift. Convenience used to mean proximity. A store near your house. Parking available. Everything under one roof. Convenience now means invisibility. No driving, no searching aisle numbers, no checkout lines, no human friction. Walmart mastered proximity. Amazon mastered invisibility. And when consumer behavior shifted toward digital-first habits, one definition of convenience became more powerful than the other. So this is not a story about one company being incompetent. It is a story about one company optimizing for the present, while the other optimized for the future. In physical retail, Walmart still dominates. But in digital commerce, Amazon built a system that compounds with every click. Two systems, two strengths, two eras, And the era changed. So what is the real lesson here? And no, this is not just a lesson for executives in boardrooms. This is about how markets evolve and how companies quietly lose when they optimize the wrong variable. Lesson 1. Convenience compounds. Every second removed from a customer's journey does not just increase conversion once, it increases the probability of the next purchase. And the next one. And the next one. Amazon did not win because shipping was fast. Amazon won because they turned buying into a reflex. When friction disappears, behavior accelerates. When behavior accelerates, habits form. When habits form, competitors become irrelevant. Lesson 2. Time beats price in mature markets. For decades, retail was obsessed with cost leadership, lower margins, higher volume, relentless efficiency. But once basic affordability is achieved, the next bottleneck is not money. It is attention. It is energy. It is time. Saving $5 feels good. Saving 30 minutes feels transformative. Amazon understood that modern consumers feel time pressure more than price pressure. Walmart protected the wallet. Amazon protected the calendar. Lesson 3. The strongest companies redesign behavior, not just operations. Walmart perfected operations. Amazon redesigned how buying feels. One click. No checkout anxiety. No repeated data entry. No decision fatigue in a crowded aisle. That emotional shift matters because consumers do not experience supply chains. They experience moments. And the smoother the moment, the stronger the attachment. Now here is the uncomfortable question. When you choose where to shop, are you thinking about price? Or are you thinking about effort? Most people believe they are rational, but most decisions are driven by friction. The brand that removes the most friction wins more often than the brand that shouts the loudest. Amazon did not invent retail. They redefined convenience at the behavioral level. And Walmart did not collapse. They are still massive, still powerful, still dominant in physical retail. But the axis of competition shifted. From shelves to screens. From logistics to latency. From price tags to saved seconds. And that shift changed everything. So the next time you tap buy now without thinking, ask yourself one question. Was it cheaper? Or was it easier? Because in the modern economy, easier usually wins. And the companies that understand that first quietly shape the future.